Hey, everybody. Monday.
Oh. Uh-oh, you're not. No, we can't hear you again, Jeff. I don't know why. You're not muted either.
Oh, well, you know what? That was a good entrance. That's how you got to start it off right there. You know. Anyway, so I apologize. But as I was saying, MCU's Bleeding Edge Report, Cyberneticshark, co-host of the MCU's Bleeding Edge Report, MCU's Bleeding Edge, special guest co-host, Andre the Pop Culture Guy, back again with me after romancing the stone over on Andre's Pop Culture Guy channel presents last night. Here to talk about and discuss Dune Prophecy episode 4. Really good episode. The Rotten Tomatoes, Andres and I were talking about this last night. The Rotten Tomatoes on this show so far is not very good. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Cyber, what do you think about the Rotten Tomatoes being not so hot for Dune Prophecy? We've been reviewing it, and everybody's been enjoying it on our end.
I don't think I've noticed the Rotten Tomato scores, so I don't really have much on that. But that does not shock me. Simply for the fact that Dune Prophecy is not some woke shit. So right there, the critics are going to be panning it. So it's definitely been solid, straightforward action, storytelling that's taken the Dune universe to a whole new level that I think it actually has done better than the two films that they've put out so far. So I think that the creators of this are doing a phenomenal job.
Okay, what do you think, Andres the Pop Culture Guy? There's the actual Rotten Tomatoes right there. It's 70% average tomato meter, and then the fan meter is 65%.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised it has this very average kind of reviews. I don't know. It's a very good HBO production. I mean, the production is great, performances is good. Yeah, if you don't like the first two parts, I think this one is definitely better. But I don't know. Like, I like part two. I think part two is the greatest, I think, in the series so far. I think was just a very good sequel, expanding the universe more and had a lot of action. But yeah, very kind of surprised this is happening. I mean, I agree with Cyber. I mean, this is like, it has no cancel culture at all, which is good. I was very worried about that for the show. Didn't do that, so that's good. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't have, like, I don't know. Maybe if this was more like 8 episodes, then I think people talk more about the show. Or I don't know.
Look at Miss Marvel, 98%, bitch.
Yeah, we know that since 2022. But yeah. Why are we doing Miss Marvel, sir? We're talking about Prophecy. Oh my god.
I just always find it amazing that they actually gave Miss Marvel a 98% Rotten Tomatoes. It's fucking crazy. Miss Marvel was really good. Cyber will tell you, I really enjoyed the fuck out of Miss Marvel. I thought it was a blast. I thought it was all really good. Like, episode after episode, all the way through the series, I was like 9, 10, every rating for every episode. But like, that's a really high rating for Rotten Tomatoes, though. The fan rating is more accurate, I think, for the show,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the audience is the more clear, like, what people are thinking about, and I think the 80s makes sense for Miss Marvel. I like that show. I love Miss Marvel. I thought it was a good origin, introduction to the character. I thought they were very faithful to the character, except for the mutant change of her powers. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know about that, but whatever, But yeah,
they're gonna have to do something with that eventually.
Yeah, I mean, after the multiverse saga is done, we'll address that more in the mutant saga. But I don't know if I'd be kind of cool to put her in X-Men. I think that's not a thing
I wonder. It'll be interesting to see when we even see her again. Amon Milani and anything. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like, the only thing I can think of that she'll be in would be like the next Avengers film,
or Young Avengers. Like, the fact that
that Young Avengers project probably is. You think that'll come out before the next Avengers movie?
Well, not in between. I feel like that's what they're maybe trying to do, and we have confirmed. Like it's been a long time. We haven't discussed that, but I heard they're making it as a Disney Plus show, so that's confirmed. So it could be either before or after between the two Avengers movies, and that's nothing new. I mean, we saw that with the Infinity Saga. You know, we had a couple movies in between them. So that's what happened. That's gonna what happened for Avengers.
I remember. I don't know, Cyber. I remember we used to talk about the concept of the Young Avengers a long time ago, and the thesis always was like we really didn't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't want that really to happen. You know, you remember? I remember talking about it a long time ago, and like the idea being like, who the fuck, who really wants that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I remember you mentioning your thoughts about that you that you thought who would want that or anything like that. I feel myself, I was like, I could go either way with it. I could, I'll be down for it if they bring back, Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, played by Haley Steinfeld and so forth and so like that for a Young Avengers film or TV show or whatever they want to go with. I mean, it's already been teased. They teased that at the end of the Marvels. So definitely something is going to probably come about of that eventually. Just like Andrea said, I think that definitely that'll be more after, the multiverse has ended, because they keep saying, Marvel keeps saying that they're fast tracking the multiverse to get it over with, because they see how horrible this portion of the MCU is played out. So they're trying to fast track this as quick as possible, which hence why Fantastic Four is coming out next year. And that's going to be a crucial portion of leading to the end of the multiversal saga, especially because they're considered mutants because they get their powers, from the cosmic rays. So, the fact that I think we probably won't see anything about the Young Avengers, definitely until after probably Secret Wars, possibly between Secret Wars and what's the not Armor Wars.
I forget what I forget. Maybe Andres, can you remember what do they call it? The second Avengers movie? Is it Doomsday or something like that?
Doomsday, Secret Wars. That's right. Yeah. So I was in the right direction. Secret Wars. So after Secret Wars, which is will be the second Avengers film. I don't think we'll see anything until after that. I keep seeing things saying about Hawkeye season 2 coming about. That's a big thing. So once again, that will bring back Kate Bishop and get her more in the fold again. But I don't know if anybody else saw this, but today they officially confirmed that in Secret Wars, Chris Evans will return as some sort of character. That has been confirmed. So I don't know if he's going to come back as Captain America or a version of the Human Torch again. I'm not sure, but he has been confirmed to be in Secret Wars. So that it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. But
yeah, most definitely. I think that I mean they've been it's been heavily speculated and rumored for a long time now that because like it's been so much speculation for Secret Invasion that they bring back everybody, kind of, Black Widow would come back, and they'd have all the original 6 Avengers basically would appear in some form, right? Yeah, I mean it's interesting. What characters are they gonna have in the Avengers films? How they're gonna split the screen time up. I'm all about seeing. I guess my attitude towards the Young Avengers is that, like you said, Cyber, I like Iman Vellani, so I wouldn't mind seeing her in something. So like, if that's what it takes to have her on screen or whatever, for them to go in that direction. Then I can handle that. And I like Kate Bishop too. I forget the name of that actress that plays her, Haley Steinfeld. She's cute.
Steinfeld,
she's cute. She has a nice voice. She's all right. But so as far as Dune Prophecy episode 4 goes, I thought it was probably the best episode of the series so far. I'll leave it at that as far as what you guys thought overall of the episode. Andres, Pop Culture Guy, what did you think of episode 4 of Dune Prophecy?
So I thought it was really good. Tough one to say this is the best. Because I really like episode 3. I thought that was really good too. But I think this one is really good. I mean, it's like a very much combination. How you say it? Of those story points that we've been following. Because we're going to get 2 more episodes after this. So I think they're wrapping up everything towards the end game, which is good. So I've been very excited, very happy where we're heading. Everything's been well paced, which is good. And I thought this beginning part was really cool. Very, very Finch. Like it's very Lynch. I think that's the cool thing. Like it's very Lynch Dune. Like this very kind of horror kind of vibe when you
Yeah,
see
I
these,
get. I understand what you mean.
yeah, when you see these kids get like these visions are very like graphic, and I think it was this like mind game that we were in with finding out the reckoning and the prophecy and all that. I thought that was all good. So I was very happy where at the beginning because they pick up where we left off from episode 3, which is good.
Cyber.
So my overall impressions of the first of this episode 4, I thought it was a really decent episode. I really enjoyed it. It had a lot of interesting tidbits coming together. Really kind of enclosing on the season so that we would get to a certain point by this episode. As we mentioned before, we're already halfway through the season, and so they really had to up the ante in this. And I think that they really did that, and they did a decent job with that, giving us a little bit more thought process on different sides, including, where the Atreides guy is and how he's, trying to push to make, Mark Strong more powerful. And we have, what is the head mistress doing and kind of her relationship with her family and stuff like that. So we get kind of all that encompassed into this episode, which really played out really well, was very good, and overall I think it was really well done.
I thought there was a lot of if you want to say like world building, kind of more world building in episode 4, which I really enjoy. The Dune sort of I don't know, it's interesting to see their way they live, I guess, right? Their cultures, their civilization. We talked about in episode 3 how it seems like a lot of people were living like like cavemen kind of and shit, right? Like Andres was saying, they were like sticks and bones and shit, living with fire, like using fire and shit, like cavemen and shit, like but they have spaceships. It's kind of crazy. I enjoy when they fill in the gaps of kind of showing the everyday life almost kind of, the technology that it does exist, in this Dune universe. So the episode was titled Twice Born. And as is like, I think typical that we've seen with HBO before in the past, they have 2 directors on this episode, Kevin Lau and Susan Rubel. And from episode to episode, all throughout the series, it's two directors per episode, and they change per episode. So it's all different directors as they go, which we've seen a lot of that, right? We saw that with the Rings of Power, right? We saw that. We saw that with that series you really liked, Fallout, Andres. We saw that with Fallout. We saw that with Shogun, where they had different directors every episode, pretty much. Although they did bring back certain ones, for multiple episodes. So the episode starts with Jen discovers other sisters' nightmares preventing Emmeline's suicide. Valia becomes the Harkonnens' truthsayer. I always want to pronounce it as Inez, but I'm not sure if that's I don't know if that's how you pronounce the character's name. Inez, it's Ynez. Ines, I don't know. Here's Desmond's murder confession. Desmond successfully recommends Javico remove the Landsrad's truthsayers. I'll stop there. Cyber, up to the point where Desmond is introduced into the episode, and he has that first conversation with the Emperor about removing the truthsayers. What did you think of that part of the episode, the introduction?
So the beginning of the episode is pretty strong. They really get right into it. We given that nightmare fuel that they show at the beginning here, with all the different, sisters and everything like that. So I thought they did that really well. Very visually interesting, and a very strong, like, kind of like, ooh, something really is amiss here. Something is going on, that all these sisters are having all these nightmares about this one particular instance that's going on. And the fact that the one sister ends up finding the one girl that was seen in the vision almost cutting herself, that was really interesting too, I thought, because she was able to stop her, which she looked like she's about to cut her throat, and you're just kind of like, oh, good thing she stopped her before she did that, and then that prophecy would have came true. So I think that, once again, something is definitely amiss, and something's, fucking with everyone, basically. And which I feel that we're going to go back to there eventually, that the girl that that the sister of the headmistress was all upset about being basically unconscious and like have become brain dead. The person that they killed years ago, I have a feeling that she's the one that's doing this. I have a feeling that we're going to go back to that, and that's kind of what's going to happen there. And that's kind of what was being shown there, because that person's still trying to, even though she's supposedly dead, her spirit somehow is still surviving and is like trying to get the truth out there about, the headmistress and her sister and what they did to become what they are. So I think we're going to come back to that eventually. I have a feeling, and that I think it's going to be something like that, especially that beginning sequence, giving us that kind of thought process of that. And that's what it made me think of. So as it goes to, basically as we go through it a little bit more and Desmond comes into the picture, once again, like you were saying, world building here. I feel pretty much that whole beginning section, the first beginning section, really was all about giving us more world building to accomplish getting to a certain point at this episode in this first season of, Dune Prophecy. And, I think that visually it was really amazing, everything, how it looked and all that kind of good stuff. I think that we had a lot of great dialogue that happened between a lot of the different characters and getting to know them more and stuff like that. So I think that it's a really solid start to the episode that really pulls you in and keeps your attention focused.
Andres. Yeah. So the beginning part, how you say, this section, with with the sisterhood was really compelling. I mean, first off, the performances of Olivia Williams is really great. I thought she's still killing it for this series, and you can see her, like doing the same very gray area that her sister has done. Tried to push the sisters to give more information about the process, the prophecy and like what's the reckoning is all about, all that. It was very freaky to see one of the sisters almost commit suicide, and with the blade, which is interesting. And we get more contents of that visual, that vision a bit more. I thought that was really great. And then going back to Val, Sister Val, like it's really cool how she's coming back to her house and trying to convince is this her cousin, her nephew, I guess, the Baron, to like
I think that's her. I think that's her nephew. Yeah,
nephew, right? So like she has a plan to how to expose Hart, by, like she and this was really cool how they set it up, having her and the sisters tried to get the counselor, some of the houses to have one, the kind of one house that they cannot, that doesn't have the high remark is the Harkonnens to like push like this like investigation and treason that what's this house, Cornern, the Mark Strong's character's house, like, because of what the kid, the death of the kid, right? And so then, then plus, exposing the mole, of course, because we have the Atreides mole there, and they're planning to do like assassination attempt, and so like all that can go well, and so that she can reclaim, the house, it in her way, and so. That's very interesting discussion. I thought the way they edited those kind of like setting up the plan, it was really cool. Like especially because you look at the Baron that Val is trying to go with her, is very weak. He's very intimidated about this. He's being used as like a as like a, what do you say, like a self, like a felt bet, like, or something like that, like, or a pawn. Basically the plan for Sister Val. So I really enjoyed that because and plus the actress that plays Val is fantastic. I mean, yeah, Emily Watson, is killing it this episode. I mean, I just think I love that we got more scenes with her uncle, the Baron, the uncle Harkonnen. Like, I really like him, as we discussed before last week. He's the actor that played, was it the Lannister husband before he died in the first season. Like, he's great, and of course he's from Monty. He's killing in this episode. It's very cool how he's just like doesn't still like or disrespects Val because of what she has done, letting the brother die and all that, and her ambitions just got in the way of this like peaceful thing to be this bloodshed. So I really enjoyed this section of this episode.
Okay, I did too. And I thought that the introduction of the bringing the Harkonnen family back into the episode, coming off of episode 3 was really cool. It was a good continuation. So from there, the Kieran and Horace Gamer, an Ixian flying thermal bomb. They acquired Ixian, the Ixians, a very interesting race in the Dune universe. They acquire a flying thermal bomb to kill Javico, the Emperor, telling Michaela. Valia hears, revealing she plans to save Javico and turn over Kieran, to restore her grace with the Emperor. Sisters reveal Pruitt's murder to various houses. That was a really great scene where they showed the different Truthsayers overlapping, the 3 of them, which invite Harrow to replace the departed Richies on the High Council and investigate, the death, by Desmond. So Tula has spice imbibing acolytes draw images from their dreams. And they draw Shah-Halud and Blue Eyes. So I'll stop there. That was a really intense scene. I'm just a pop culture guy. What did you think of that passage of the episode?
Yeah, this past episode I was very hooked. Seeing the other sisters helping out Val by talking to the various houses to go buy the plan to go behind the House of Harkonnen to pursue the case, right? And that's a really genius idea. And I do agree with you, Jeff, about the intercut of the montage here. It was really good. It was well paced. I understood what was going on, and confirming the death of the kid, right, and that it was a murder, right?
And the father too.
Oh, really? The father? Yes, yes.
Yeah.
The father did die. Yeah. And yeah, so the dad died, and so that has to be investigated. So all of that was really great, intriguing, and and then, of course I brought up the plan. Trying to they know now the assassination attempt and the mole. So if that's gonna happen, then Val has the chance to win the heart again for the emperor. So I thought that all was all engaging. I was very hooked on what they were trying to do here. Um, yeah, and then at the same time, you see well, and then while we have to bring up the kids of the emperor, because you see the daughter not very comfortable about what her family is doing with Hart, because later on we'll see what happened. That she's not comfortable about having Hart in the being this kind of position of power and advisor for her dad, and like the fact that they're letting these murders to go past is kind of like barring her. And then you get the brother here who he is also is in conflict, and and it's not being trusted by the dad because of what happened. The fact that I like how the dad say, like, you should have like kept your pants on, and like all that, like from revealing that, like, secret to the blonde chick that we all love and her beautiful boobs. I thought that you know uh it makes him to like maybe even more join her sister to like overthrow the dad a little bit, maybe. But I think this section was really engaging. Like, you really see the plot really thickens, and you're really hoping that Val achieves this mission well.
Okay, Cyber.
We're going to where at what point again?
Up until the point where you know uh, what's her name? Valia, goes back to her family, and they have the montage or the scenes where you see all the truthsayers, mentioning to the death of Vachisi or whatever, and to do the investigation.
Okay. I would have to say this section, once
Oh, I'm
again,
sorry. And up to the point where Tula has all the acolytes draw the images on paper of the dreams.
okay. So yeah, this section here, it's just more really world building again, where we're getting to know, we're seeing all the little intricate pieces kind of fall into place here. We have the whole situation there where the one guy there that has been in cahoots with Mark Strong's daughter, he like helps bring in that flying machine, which because they all hate the machine so badly, which is a no. And we see him like help get that going and spying and helping her out. At this point, we also get quite a bit of kind of headmistress herself, kind of to trying to move things in her direction of how she wants things to go, especially bringing in her great nephew, I think is what he's supposed to be, to kind of talk at the council and everything. That whole situation is kind of interesting. Like Andres was saying, getting to see Mark Addy again pop up as his character has been fantastic. It's unfortunate for his, what happens to his character later in the episode, and which it was kind of hard not to see that was going to happen. But still, I love Mark Addy. I think he's a fantastic actor, and I was psyched to shit when I saw that he was in the last couple episodes and a part of the great Dune universe, and he played the character really well. It totally, this older version of him that we've seen in the last couple episodes totally makes me think of Baron from the films. It makes me think of how the House Harkonnen is in the future, and kind of how they're very dependent on machines, and they're very dependent on, being very weird and definitely in need of help for their bodies and stuff like that versus what other groups of the of the universe and the Dune universe are. And very dark looking and very methodical and stuff like that, which you kind of saw that kind of building here with how he looked and how he had to be in a chair and he had to have that oxygen and everything like that. So that made me think of how the Harkonnens are in the future, which I think that's a great little tie-in to the films, giving you kind of that world building material. And so I think leading up to when the headmistress sister has them start drawing the pictures on those pads, which I thought was a really interesting sequence, especially like how they were like all freaking out, just like they were at the beginning of the episode as they're drawing these and like giving predictions of what they're drawing and stuff, and they kept flipping the pages and stuff like that. I thought that was really a cool little section that I thought was very illustrative and very thought-provoking, I thought, and really give you kind of instance of how much the former this person, like I was mentioning before, is trying to get their story out to let people know that that the headmistress and her sister are evil. So I think that that's a really cool little aspect there, and I think a really great way to end this section of the episode.
Yeah, the scene where all the Sisterhood acolytes were drawing the pictures and all that was really interesting. I had in my mind, I was imagining like imagine if those women were doing that and one of them drew the acolyte, like a scene from the acolyte, on the paper. That would have been interesting. Like why they're like freaking out. But anyways, okay, so yeah, I really dug that. That they were on the spice, and they were fucked up drawing and shit and whatnot. Some of them were tripping out. But so Natalia reveals she leaked the truth about Pruitt's murder. That being, of course, the spouse or the wife of the Emperor. So Javico could prosecute thinking machine abusers. And she gives what's his name, Desmond, those cards or whatever, that have like the people that are committing these thinking machine crimes. So at Division, Inez notes Vorian rejected the throne, excluding Kieran from power. She tells him Desmond's guilt volunteering to act. Harrow tells the Landsgrad Canley was violated, almost naming the Carinos, but Inez accuses Desmond, who brings in Horace, Bound, and all the other, criminals or whatever that they're like tied to thinking machines. So I'll stop there, and I'll go back to you, Andres, the pop culture guy. What do you think about the episode going up to the point where Desmond brings in all the criminals?
Okay, so first up, the wife. So you can, so it was a very cool twist to find out that the wife was the one that leaked, this, the truth, so that she can, hold her own agenda against the not like the tech kind of like, I guess, a minders, to get rid of that, because so far in this series, because of the machine wars, she's the one that's very much against technology and all that. And so the fact that she's doing her own agenda and using heart as well, because we're seeing that Mark Strong likes him and he is using him, but not in the way like the wife is doing. Like she is relishing him to have this kind of power and greed to like go after these people, and as we see towards the end of capturing the rebel or the resistance right against the Empire, and that were attempting to do this like this airdrop assassination, which they didn't. And very cool twist. You see her doing her own agenda, and I think she's a very interesting character, and I'm very curious where she's gonna like end up. towards the end of the series. You see Hart, like I think, also you see also the what is it, the Atreides mole, right? He's having second thoughts about the mission, right? And then like of course the princess sees him again, and she is trying to tell him about what's going on, right? And you see him having this conflict between his duty and his like somewhat love with the princess, right? So that was really interesting, where because like he wasn't captured at all, during that interrogation. I was kind of surprised that he was not found out right away by Hart. So I'm very intrigued about that. Yeah, and then I didn't address the whole like the acolyte scene with the sisterhood. That one was really intriguing. Yeah, I'm very surprised. Like it'd be funny if they saw the wiki with the lightsaber, and like that's like, no, what is this? Like it was like, oh my god, the scene from the acolyte TV show. That'd be kind of crazy. Yeah, I was kind of surprised they have the word acolyte. I was like, well, why are they saying the acolyte? It's just so bizarre. We're not Star Wars universe, we're Dune universe. So I was like, I was kind of like triggered by the word acolyte a little bit. I was like, get the hell out of this Dune show, okay? Star Wars. this is not your universe, acolyte. Like I don't want to hear your name ever again. So but yeah, so I really enjoyed this sequence.
Fuck you, Steve from Bumble. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's totally me when I say fuck you, acolyte. Fuck you. Thank you for wasting my 8 week of watching your show. But whatever, But yeah, so I thought the sequence, this section of the episode was very juicy. We were like, oh my god, this is gonna be very exciting towards the end of the episode. So I'm very excited to talk about that.
Okay, Cyber.
So in this sequence, it starts to really get good when we get to the council meeting, basically. That kind of precursor to the counseling, the sister asking the brother to be on her side, really kind of starts getting the thing rolling, because she says she's going to, basically try to oust her father, saying that, or try to get that, Desmond in trouble. And, we get that, beginning of the drama, and the courtroom scene. And I love how, the high priestess tries to use her nephew to like get words out, but yet he's like is failing to do it. And then she all of a sudden just walks right in and is like, it was Desmond. It was all him. And from the get-go, this girl has been a nuisance, I feel, to this poor family here. Trying to cover this up, trying to keep this, hush hush and everything, with the Atreides guy. And she just really kind of gets on my nerves and is like, just shut up, please, just go away. You're kind of like, I don't want to mention the name again, the acolyte, but you definitely like the acolyte right now, girl. You're pulling things down. And I'm like, it's like, why aren't you trying to stay on your father's side? Here's your father, you should want to stay on his side like the mother is doing. And so I'm like, she's just causing more trouble than what is needed. And it's just kind of like, and then when she shows up and does that, I was like, are you kidding me? And so I thought that was like really interesting, that she's like trying to cause all this trouble and like, say it was all, Desmond, the Atreides guy. And, I think that this scene here, we get to see kind of a representation of the different, classes in the Dune universe. We get to see kind of a lot of the people that are on the board and all this kind of stuff that, they all work together in unison to try to stay in peace and everything like that. So I think that is an interesting part about this sequence too. And, basically leading up to our endpoint, bringing in those guys that, as we mentioned earlier about, that one of the guys that brought in the little machine to spy and stuff like that. I thought that was like really great acting by all of them involved. And I think that the the Atreides guy that got swallowed by the worm, I love how he like gives a great presentation to bring them in. and saying, these are the guys that are really the traitors here. These are the bad guys, and basically that and stuff like that, which I thought was really cool. So really, really intense sequence here, really get you back into the episode, because I felt that some of the stuff that was right prior to this got a little slow, definitely not in a horrible way, but definitely was kind of like little filler a little bit that leads into this sequence that really gets the ball rolling again and is just really enjoyable. So I think it's a solid section of the episode.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the audio effects they were using with the Reverend Mothers, like the Mother Superior, Valia and Tula, like because they both drank the water of life. So they have the thoughts of their ancestors in their heads. You know what I mean? And so that's why you hear that audio where you hear the voices when they focus in on them talking in their heads, because that's what happens after you drink the water of life. That's what Paul deals with now in the Dune universe, now that he did the water of life, right? So, okay, so Desmond concurs and agrees that he killed the dude, but calls it an execution, revealing the bomb, and destroying it, with his boot. Javico lets him, tells him to, they say in the Wikipedia, immolate, but make them burn from inside out, Horus and the co-conspirators. And one of the guys in the Lazaret too, he burns up. Valia traces wounded Desmond's blood. Tula dreams she kills Emmeline, who knows her crimes. Lila awakes doesn't know where she is. Like she has amnesia, or because she has like the thinking machine there, like the computer there or whatever. Avengi laments Valia warping her siblings, criticizing his weakness. She withholds his respirator, killing him. Theodosa channels Griffin because she can like shapeshift, I guess. That's her special power. Valia asks if she pushed him too far. And the episode ends with Theodosa changing back to herself. So, Cyber, what'd you think of all that?
The ending of the episode is really great. I really enjoyed it. Once again, it really emphasizes how evil, Valia is, and how, she is, really the evil person here. She's really the bad guy, even though she thinks that her actions are righteous and, killing all the Atreides and, doing all this stuff is for the better good. It really isn't. It's all a vendetta in which it's basically consuming her, and we see that through the section where she ends up killing her uncle. And we of course we get the demise of Mark Addy's character, which I was really upset by because I really enjoyed his character. I wish I'd liked to have seen more of him. But as the Harkonnens are, unfortunately the Harkonnens just have a really bad past as well. Lots of death as we've seen in this, series so far. And, I really enjoyed that, like, back and forth they have between each other in that sequence, and how mad she gets and everything. You just see, like, you're falling apart there, Valia. You're falling apart. You know what you're doing is wrong. And then, of course, the sister having the premonition of killing the one of the sisters, because she figures out that, what she did. That was interesting. And then her to wake up from that and realize that, Lila, it has awoken, that she is awake again. We see that her eyes are like that piercing blue from having the serum put into her. And she asks where she is, and we get to see that great, like, back shot of all that cool technology and stuff like that, which was really cool. I really enjoy that. And I forgot to mention how cool the entrance to all the people coming down to the Senate were at that sequence there, where it shows the giant ships and stuff like that. That was freaking awesome. That was such great technology, and it looked so good. It looked like high quality movie CGI, and that just looks so badass. Including the worm scene when we have Desmond recollecting his, unfortunately his supposed eaten by the worm that gives him the powers. That was really freaking badass too. Seeing it from his first person view there, and then when Mark Strong goes in and kind of consoles him after noticing how him burning people from the inside and stuff, using his powers, how it injures himself, how he kind of reacts to that, and how he kind of is kind of like becoming kind of buds with Desmond. I thought that was kind of interesting sequence there. And but I mean, the death of Valia's uncle really sucks, like I was saying. But that leading into basically the Theodosa challenges Griffin is a really, channels him, basically coming out, shape-shifting for Valia to make her feel at ease after what she just did to her uncle. I thought was just another ploy of showing how evil this woman is, and how we're trying to make her feel like, oh, you're not doing anything wrong by, and we all know that Theodosa doesn't like shapeshifting because it's very painful for her. Whatever species she's supposed to be, or whatever alien type of creature that allows her to have that ability. But as we saw after she channels Griffin, her dead brother, we hear her in pain as she's shifting back, and you're just like, okay, that just does not sound right. Like, I don't know why you would want to shapeshift to begin with there. Then of course, Valia asks if she has, she pushed him too far and stuff like that. And of course, Theodessa says, "Oh no, you didn't do that. We make our own actions." And you're just kind of like, "Oh my God, you're just feeding into this woman's delusion. This is making it worse, Theodosa." So how the episode ends just really reiterates how, that Valia is definitely not all there, and that she is a force to not be reckoned with, and that she definitely is not working to her best ability and what she should be doing, and that her whole power struggle here, her whole power arc, definitely is just as bad as any other ruler has ever been that's taken over something. So she is evil beyond compare. We get to see that here at the very end of this episode. So I think it's a very powerful ending to an episode. Lots of great visuals and just a really solid conclusion to this episode. Very solid episode.
All right. Andre's pop culture guy.
Yeah, I thought this was a great end to this episode. I thought they really stick the landing here. I mean, first off, I was kind of shocked that she killed her uncle, but it kind of makes sense. I mean, like, the guy was not supporting her, so. But man, the fact that she held the respirator, the inhaler thing, whatever you want to call it, was so come on, now she let her sister kill a bunch of Atreides, and she killed a granddaughter of the mother superior to continue the DNA matrix, and then now this is wow, this is she's getting a lot of blood in her hands, and it's and she's just doing this to keep the orderly in check, and it's all about power, and yeah, you can understand she's trying to get the name Harkin back to the glory days, right? But the way she's doing it is very extreme and crazy. Yeah, I didn't understand what was going on. I feel she was having hallucinations of Griffin, but then it took me a while and some videos I had to check that this was the kid that she had with her this episode and last episode. I forgot her name. The other sister, she asked to come with her for this journey, right? And we get this reveal, she has these abilities to shapeshift to anyone, and so she shapeshifted to the brother to comfort her about the death of her uncle, which I'm that's why you brought her to comfort you that your decision is valid despite that it's so unethical. I'm wow. So that was creepy, and the way the sister that had the shapeshifting abilities, it was really brutal to see her transform. It was very horror, very body horror, Fly or Videodrome and all that. Yeah, and the court thing, I love how Hart did it in such a Shakespearean way. He's here are the people. This is the people that love technology and all that. and like he was waiting for his permission to kill these people. And by the way, seeing like what four of the resistance and the other house person that was, I guess, into the technology thing, right? Dead like that was very brutal. Um, Again, but then that was kind of the full of heart, like for like not only showing that he maybe has some weakness, but the fact that he put his hand and you see the blood there, because later on, he tells Mother Superior Val tells the other sister to check the blood, to check who he is. So like now she has the blood of that heart person, that Desmond. We'll find out who he is, because I'm kind of curious who he is. Is he like a like an extinct house that we haven't heard yet, and like he's part of that house that's been gone for a long time? Well, like what's going on with him? Very curious where we're gonna get the answer next episode. Yeah, and I was kind of surprised that the princess was gonna like accuse the the father. I was like, whoa, okay, this is cool. She's she's telling her that he was trying to uh the murder of the kid and the father. You okay, sir?
Yeah,
Okay, just making sure.
I am, sir. I'm good.
Okay, I hopefully the acolyte didn't get you. Like
What?
Jeff. Hello, Jeff. How you doing, buddy? We're back. We want you to rewatch the acolyte. And like hell no, I don't want you to rewatch the acolyte. Fuck you, acolyte. Fuck you. Anyway, so I was kind of surprised. This is where's the brother? You guys know what happened to the brother? He just like ran off and disappeared. Like I'm curious what's going on with her brother. Like maybe she would join the resistance or something like that. Just I thought overall the whole anti sequence was really good. Oh, the person actually, this is a cool note. The old man that was running the court, that was actually Christopher Nolan's uncle. If you've seen some of the Nolan films, he's the one that was the Wayne as a executive that talked in Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises. He was the blind guy in Dunkirk, talking to Harry Styles, I think towards the end of the film. That was Christopher Nolan's uncle. I was surprised. I knew I recognized him somewhere. So I just want to give a shout out to him. He's a good actor. And it's really cool because I know Christopher Nolan loves the Dune series. And I was kind of surprised to see his uncle here because he's a good actor. Overall, I thought the ending was really great. It makes me excited for the next episode. They really stick the landing here. I've been enjoying it. I don't need this series to be too long, so I think 6 episodes are a good episode count. So very excited where to go. Oh, and seeing Sister Leah waking up from the coma was really great. I think what we saw was the DNA matrix, I guess, right? Because when this basement well thing started to light up with these things, I think that's the DNA matrix. Maybe, I don't know. That's kind of cool to see the DNA matrix come out like that. I'm very curious if the vision we saw before Leah awakened that's going to happen, because we saw briefly the sisters predict, because first that sister that was supposed to commit suicide, she was using her powers to see if Olivia Williams' character Tula was lying at that moment, and that she had some of her people, some of the sisters who were dreaming just like her were pledging something, and so they're maybe plotting something against the teachers. So we'll see if that comes into fruition. So overall, I was very happy where we landed in this episode.
Well, give me your rating then, Andres.
I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I think it was a good episode. I think this show has been consistent.
Cyber rating?
I give it a solid 9 as well.
All right. To be not to be uniform or anything, but I will also give it a 9. So there you go. There you go. Dune Prophecy episode 4, in the bank, in the tank. Time for plugs. So I'll start with you, Cyber. Cyber, sir, tell me what you're doing over at Cyberneticshark YouTube channel, please.
So as always, people, if you join me here on the panel or as a moderator, you can check out my solo content. You find me on the Cyberneticshark if you don't realize that yet. But anyways, you can find me there. As you see my most recent review there, I just dropped it today. Red One, the new holiday classic that I think is going to become a huge hit over the years. It was absolutely fantastic. Made me feel like the Christmas season was here. It was absolutely fantastic. Loved Chris Evans in it, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, J.K. Simmons, Kierna Sipka, Lucy Liu, Bonnie Hunt. I mean, huge cast. Great film, though. Directed by Jake Kasdan, who directed the Jumanji films, the newer ones. And it's just a really solid film. So if you have not checked it out, check out that review there. And my other recent review, of course, was Heretic. Most recent mini reviews are, of course, Logan, because I just rewatched it the other day for the first time in 7 years. Because I wanted to watch it prior to watching Deadpool and Wolverine. So that was fun watching that, doing that mini review finally. Hadn't done one because shorts weren't a thing on YouTube at the time. And then, of course, It's a Wonderful Life, which we'll be talking about on the Middle-Aged Man review tomorrow night, which is going to be fantastic and fun to talk about. That was my first watching of the film, so definitely check out my mini review of that. And, of course, I'll be having more stuff for you out soon. Be having a movie review of Wicked soon for you guys. Still haven't gotten to see some other films yet, so keep your eyes out for newer stuff coming soon, guys. Maybe some trailer reactions. Just keep on trekking, keep on subscribing, keep on watching. And we appreciate you all. And keep on watching us here on the MCU's Bleeding Edge.
All right. Andre's the pop culture guy, sir.
Yeah. Well, I just want to thank everyone for joining us today for the Dune Prophecy Episode 4. So I just recently posted my retrospective / review on No Time to Die, and I did new couple shorts.
Part D.
Serenity. You did that? You Serenity now. Anyway, or Uchimama. Anyway, so I did a couple shorts on Batman Forever. So you saw the opening. I will get drive through, and then the whole Two-Face bank robbery scene. So you saw that for the shorts. That's the new ones. Thank you, Jeff, for joining me yesterday on Romancing the Stone. That was a great discussion. We really liked the film. We also discussed The Walking Dead, and we also saw briefly the new trailer for the new John Wick movie called Ballerina. That was really cool. We saw 2 trailers of it, and so that was really nice. So and tomorrow, same thing here as Cyber. I'm going to be at the Middle-Aged Man podcast to review It's a Wonderful Life. That's going to be also my first viewing of that movie. I just heard of it from a couple pop culture stuff. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Just want to say thank you everyone for joining us tonight. So it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
You're mute, sir. Again.
You're muted, sir.
No one's gonna marry you, Hernam. Like, you have a beard. No.
It was Hernan muted my microphone. It was Hernan. I blame her. So, all right. Yeah, we appreciate everybody out there joining us live tonight. Monday, 12/2024. An hour and a half away from midnight. It is almost Tuesday. We've got Blade Runner 2049 this Friday, which should be a lot of. I've never seen it before, so I'm enjoying, looking forward to watching it. And we will see everybody next Monday for Dune Prophecy Episode 5. God bless everybody. God bless Donald Trump. God bless Kamala. God bless Donald Trump and McDonald's. Peace out, folks. Did you guys see Kamala?